Let us hope this all just works and nothing goes horribly wrong, as it friggin' has been lately with this thing. Oh my god. Alright. I forgot the 9600 has been kind of just hanging out forever at this point. But I turned it on and then kind of forgot to actually do the things I was going to do. I'm going to try and situate the mic to be more centered in my room because I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between it and my actual computer. So if I don't see chat right away, that is exactly what is going on. Though Justin is currently streaming, I don't expect anyone's going to show up because of that. But I would have waited, but unfortunately, I am out of time, so I've got to get this done like now. Hence why I'm doing this. And if you're watching the VOD of this later, that's kind of why. Normally, I know of the gentleman's agreements. Try not to stream if someone else is doing so, but unfortunately, I am very out of time. So let us get right to it. I'm gonna have the Power Mac up here just by itself for a minute, then we're gonna switch to kind of a dual view with my Windows machine. Let's see if I can wake the poor thing up. There we go. Sweet, it actually worked. Alright. But currently, I believe we have both blue scuzzies are in here right now. So I'm going to go ahead and call up center monitor, which we can see we have a dual setup going here. Okay. So I am going to probably need to move stuff around because I do have to move the blue SCSI F1 to the 80 card. I think that's how you pronounce it. 80, Ado. I'm not sure how. We have not done a copy test on. Wait, I swear I did last night. What the hell? Did I not notate it down? Huh. Oh, no, no, no. So I need to downgrade the blue SCSI F4 to uh, release firmware, which might be the same thing as a snapshot. I also need to move that to the 80. Which one is on the 80 card right now? I need to quickly check that out. Uh, so F4 is on internal. So we have all the benchmarks we're going to need with that on the internal. But we do need to do the copy for F1 on 80, so we'll get that done real quick, I guess. And by real quick, it's not going to be quick at all. It's going to take forever. So I guess we'll just back out of SCSI Director. No, 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 no. Bad. So I say copy 1 GB, but I guess when it made it over to my 9600, it's actually a 940 megabyte file, but it's close enough. It's the same file across everything, so it'll give us still a rough idea of how everything compares. So, where be my phone? There it is. All right. All right, here we go. So now we get to wait for this to complete. Oh, that's going. I suppose we can maybe play some video games. Because if this is anywhere near as slow as it is, which it's going to be as slow as it was on the internal bus, it's going to be about 13 minutes, give or take. Play some Unreal, I guess. We'll see how well this works. So yeah, I just realized I could probably turn the audio on. I mean, it's going, Garth, as you can probably see. It's just we're benching the F1 Blue Scuzzy, and that thing is unfortunately pretty slow. I mean, as you can see here, that's the one slot I'm missing here. So I need to get that done real quick. So why not play some games while we're waiting for that thing to complete? I would play Unreal on the 9600, but I don't want to influence the benchmarks in any way. Use you, word. Are we about to do the ASMD? That would be pretty neat. Yeah, I don't want a chance that, like, it's gonna mess everything up. I already had to swat down the issues with the Blue Scuzzy because it was benching way lower than it should have been. And I'm not sure why. I think it was because, I thought the read-write speed of my 4 gig SD card was well enough for it, but unfortunately it wasn't. Because I switched for another SD card and now it's perfectly fine. Man. Oh, that's just cruel. Oh, okay. Just died, I guess. Okay. Oopsie doodle. What are you running? Excuse me? What? What just happened? He has died on me. Can I get you off me? Okay. I feel like I should be able to make this jump. Yep. Well, whoopsie doodle. Run back to the map to make sure I didn't freeze. And I'm gonna take a save. And if I check, we are at 9 minutes for this file copy. I am going to laugh if this is the solution to the problem. No, it isn't. Oh, jeez. That sounds like a bad time. Pretty sure I'm not, in fact, missing something here. Alright, we're getting close, so I'm gonna go ahead and, get the stopwatch up. That's where you need a microscope. I really want to get one of those cheap USB ones. Even that would be like a massive improvement over what I use now, which is nothing. Well, I suppose I use something. I suppose I use my iPhone for microscope duties, but hardly ideal. So let's see. Okay then, not all that much of an improvement on the secondary card. So I need to put that 4 XCVR on the 80 card and I guess we gotta pull the 9600 apart. Shall we try our fortunes with the Zulu Scuzzy? Watch it completely hang the system. Actually gonna switch back over to having that as the primary for now. Yeah, I love to roll the dice. Go ahead and try it. I'm curious if there is a, didn't you say there was an update for my card as well? I should probably try that at some point. I forgot, we gotta skip the RAM check. Actually starting, I can't believe this. It's probably gonna immediately crash when it hits desktop, though. If I were a betting man. If we make it past desktop, I'm going to be very impressed. And there we go. Not a full crash, but we are stuck here. I need it real quick. Let's see. So far, the last commit to the Zulu Scuzzy firmware GitHub has been May 24th. So I don't have high hopes this is going to be addressed in a timely manner. Okay. As Day 9 would say, oh, that failed! So I should probably turn down the audio coming in from the 9600, because I just saw it hit the red. Headphone warning. Oh, sorry, too late. What's also kind of weird is this cheap Chinese capture card can handle all the wackadoodle resolutions this thing is throwing out. But the Elgato that I paid the better part of $200 for flips the hell out if I go below 800 by 600. Like, really? Like, if you're actually streaming 1080p stuff, yeah, like, the Elgato cards really kind of are your lot. Like, they are good, and these cheaper cards are kind of crap at it. But for these older machines that, like, put out some weird resolutions, they just handle them. It's really weird. Alright, so I believe now we need to fill out, yep, we need to do everything for the F4 snapshot on Ado, so I guess let's go ahead and switch back over to this view. Let's see how this rolls. I might actually connect the 475 up. That might be a good fun thing to mess with. If I have time once I finish out the benchmarks, I'll probably hook it up and give it a test. Well, let's go ahead and just go back into Unreal here. Save and quit, because I think we are pretty done with the F1. I actually need to retrieve the images from my NAS for the LC475 because I believe I actually pulled its blue SCSI. Let's see. Bring this over. So what do we got? We have roughly what I expected about. We're capping out about a little over two. The F4 seems to be kind of capping out at 2 megabytes a second. So, kind of what I expected. Yeah, it's not terrible, but I mean, it's better than the F1, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I know the creators of the Zulu SCSI are like total, like, not nice people, but like, it's like, what can you do? Like, like, it's a good for this, it's a good product. Like, it gets the job done. So it's hard to say, don't buy this when it's like, it's really the only viable option at the moment, pending Blue SCSI getting better. Like right now, if you need speed and you don't have PCI, Zulu SCSI is really the only option you have, and it sucks, but it's kind of the breaks. Also, hey Joe, you caught me kind of lamenting things right now. Anyway, all right. So what our first results are: two down, two down, two up, basically. So I'm gonna record this real quick. And we have 0.26 seek, 0.58 access. Okay. Let's do it again. Guess I could just do this. That's not what I wanted to do. That is also not what I wanted to do. I also find it interesting that everything I do, okay, I wouldn't say everything I do, but actually, I'm gonna just switch back to this view. But every time I run a benchmark on something like this, it seems to dip, then kind of bounce back. It's really weird. I'm not sure if that's intended behavior or not, but kind of interesting. So if this comes back with the very same results, I'm not going to bother running a third test. And it looks like it basically is. 2037. Okay. We'll do one more for posterity, I guess. Don't you mean Sherlock? So I think we can safely say this is going to be 2048. So, what you got for me? So I'm using I have a VGA splitter coming out of the 9600. I have that going into a VGA to HDMI dongle, which admittedly was not the best option, but it was the cheapest one that was getting decent reviews. And then that's going into a cheap Chinese capture box that just scales everything up to 1080p anyway. Kind of acts like a ghetto scaler in a way, and it can handle all the resolutions it puts out. Besides, I believe 512 by 384 is the only one it can't do. So it's working surprisingly well for how little I spent on it. Whereas my $200 Elgato card just flips out with this thing. It's really funny. So we are looking at, wow, full 2048 back up, I guess. Okay. The plus Alright. And access and read, access and seek were the same, so I'm just gonna not even average those out. I'll try to. It was like I actually bought this on AliExpress like back in 2020, so it may not even be available anymore. If I can find the exact listing, though, I will shoot you a link. So, seek access. Alright, time to Mac bench this poor thing. Now, something I hate is that what we're about to see here is Mac bench is so slow, and I do not know why. Like, come on, this is a 400 megahertz G3. It should not be this slow. Mork Bunch. Wait, what? Oh, what? Nightbot? Okay, Nightbot gonna let me turn off Nightbot. I forgot about Nightbot. I forgot very much about Nightbot. Whoopsie doodle. I know you're no spammer. That's why I was like, what? What? What are you doing? I need to look if there's a way I can whitelist people and so they don't get their asses handed to them if they do something that Nightbot doesn't like. Alright. Serve. Disk. No, wait, we don't want to run it just yet. And now it's going to take forever to load the settings because that's what MacBench do. It deleted all of you. Wow. What? What? Why? Man. It put his brother. Oh, I could only imagine how that went down. Alright, we do not want to test this. We want to test the F4. And now, go. All that be running. Let's see. Channel regulars. That guy. Oh no, you're seeing all of my subscriptions. Oh dear. Spam protection. Yeah, we can disable that. Yeah, we can disable that. We can disable that. Alright, I think we are good now. I mostly had Nightbot set up as a rules enforcement because, let's just say a certain someone was getting very angry that I wouldn't do certain things on stream, and I was like having to kind of set a reminder. It's like, this is my house. I do what I want here. Come on, show me the good stuff. I almost want to skip the file copy section because, judging by the F1, the differences between the 80 card and internal bus are not all that much pronounced, and I'm expecting it's going to be the same story here, but for posterity, I suppose. I also need to slap an SSD back into this thing to fill out these slots as well. So it did come up very favorably, like just a smidge below the G3. I assume this is a beige G3 it's running us up against, which that's not terrible. Could be better, but not terrible. So 866. There's a small increase from using a dedicated card. Now, since we're missing the slot on the spinning rust, let's go ahead and get that out of the way real quick. Come on. I know you can do it. I know you can do it, MacBench. Finally. Okay. Let's switch back to this. I'm just gonna run it. You know, I'm gonna run this twice. I'm gonna run it on one of the boot partitions, and I'm gonna run it on the data partition. Just see if there's any kind of difference. Hey Eric, how you doing? There's a Mac PCI IDE card on eBay right now. How much? Don't tempt me with a good time. Even though I really need to be saving my money right now. Oh, Eric, your presence must have your presence must have been a good luck charm because I just got a notification from PayPal that they finally released the hold. So now I need to just make do this better and shift that. I'm gonna just shift that money onto my credit card because that way I know Capital One will not let a 29-day hold stand. So if UPS screws us over again, well, it won't be 29 freaking days. Also, look at that score. 3599. All right. It's over 3,000. So that's our tentative score. I'm going to change it to a boot partition. I want to see if there's a difference. That is the SATA. And that's actually a spinning 7,200 RPM drive. Because I have an SSD, but I had reservations about using it in this machine. If I had like a bigger SSD, I would consider using that instead, but I do not. You would think 128 gigs would be plenty for this machine, but I need to keep like software ISOs and stuff on here as well. And that eats up storage like you wouldn't believe. You know, I think if I just hit Command 3. Yep, there we go. I do good things. I've disabled most of the bot. You guys will be fine. Oh, those bots. Oh, no, they ain't getting away with anything here. In fact, there's probably an easier way of doing this, but I do not know of which. All right. Boop. It's in sub only. Yeah, sub. Like, that's the one thing everybody who streams needs to do is just put it in sub only mode for 5 minutes. Instant kill for any of those bots. Literally. They won't put in the 5 minutes it takes to spam the crap out of your chat. What do we have? 3492. Which, you know what I'm going to do? Math. Okay, so I believe the only thing left. Hmm. The only thing left to do with the current setup is get the 1 gig copy done. I guess we'll do it. I'm going to hate myself if it just turns out the same though. All right. Phone. About 9 minutes. It's going to be the same, isn't it? All right. For those in the chat, let's have a quick bit of poll, bet, whatever you call it. This is what we got, 93907 on internal bus. What do we think the 80 card is going to pull? Same, slightly over, slightly under? And Garth, I'm copying it from the SATA drive, so that way that bus can saturate the SCSI bus fully. So the speed is going to be pretty much... It's going to be the max the device can handle in every instance because SATA pulls down over 20 megabytes read and write, and I believe SCSI 2 tops out at 10. So it's going to saturate it no matter what. I bid $1. I hate doing this because it's like I can't do anything else with the machine while it's doing this. Because I don't want to hamper the benchmark. Oh, yeah. Yeah. In this machine, it's capped at 20, which for a Power Mac like this, that's insanity. I really should revive the 6500 and do some benchmarks on it. Actually, now that I think of it, I'm going to be meeting with someone on Thursday, which Garth might already know. I think I told him in text, but I'm meeting with someone on Thursday who has parts for this machine, but also has a G3 mini tower. At least the good parts of it, so I can actually repair the rust bucket machine and make it pretty much a good machine from here on out. And then what would be interesting is benchmarking the ATA bus on that and seeing how fast it goes. I also have to get the G3 blue and white up and running at some point. Somebody on one of the local Discord that's supposed to have a another Radeon 7000 for me that I need to bug them about it because I would put that in the blue and either that would go in the blue and white or the beige. I can't remember which one I would want to put it in. Well, I say I can't remember. I'm undecided on which machine I want the Radeon 7000 to go into. Where the documentation is going to get very interesting, though, is one of the things I'm getting is an Interware G3 upgrade card for the 9600. And those cards are really rare. There's like very little information I found on them out there. So it's going to be interesting to kind of document it, benchmark it, hopefully find the drivers for it because I was told there are drivers, but it doesn't look like the ones on the Macintosh Garden are the right ones. So I may have a hard time with that. What's also funny about the Interware card is I believe Action Retro had one. It was like that booster card he was showing off. That's actually an Interware card. Okay, Garth, I want to know how you got what OS are you running on your blue and white? Because I think I have that very same card, and it does not get along in my blue and white literally at all. But I'm also trying to run classic on it, like older like OS 8.6 and such on it, so that's probably why I'm having issues. But I tried booting a Panther on it, and it didn't like it either. Like I get video, but it's not accelerated. And far as I can tell, everything says that card came out of like a an Xserve of some sort. And that's why it acts kind of weird when it's not in an Xserve. But that's what I've been told. Tom further on it will be. If you ever figure out like what you did to get it working, I am definitely all ears. 8 GB iPod Mini, interesting. Yeah, so does mine. I would go grab it, but I'm pretty sure because the garage got turned upside down and reorganized, I can't get to the blue and white right now. Like I have a Tower of Sauron going on in my garage right now of like old Macs. All right. About a minute. We are at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. What is going to be the verdict? Eight minutes. Less than a minute. If we get sub 9, I'm going to be impressed. Whoa! So the final time that is actually pretty interesting to see this. That feels like it shouldn't be possible, but then again, so I think what I'm going to do from here is see if I can knock out these two real quick. Maybe do a full rerun of all of these. And then I think I'm going to call it there because for these 4 slots here, I'm going to have to roll back my F4. Or I say it's actually Justin's. And he's a really awesome person for letting me borrow his. But I have to roll back the F4 to the release firmware, or whatever firmware is the most current stable, I believe. Unless the current snapshot is the very same thing, in which case it doesn't even matter anymore. I may roll it back to release firmware in that case, just for giggles, to see how much of an improvement there was. But anyway, let us go ahead, power this back down. And to keep this simple, what I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull the optical drive. All right. Let me turn down the capture card because I don't want to blow out your ears. All right, here we go. Nice formatting. You mean on the spreadsheet? If so, thank you. It's come a long way from the unorganized mess it used to be. So what I'm going to do is, because I did this with a different SSD, I'm going to just run all these anew. Also notate what SSD I'm using here. That wasn't supposed to happen. I've heard good things about Novus, but I've not had disposable income to give it a shot just yet. It'd be neat to try it on my plastic iPods, though. Alright, did we get the good stuff? Um... Does the bus 2 ID. Alright. Alright, this has to be it. Look at those seek times! Oh, yeah. Some good stuff there. You are witnessing the power of SATA in an old Power Mac. This is making me want to just go find a big ass SSD for this thing. You know, if I didn't need a Final Cut edit drive, I have a 1 terabyte PCIe SSD that I would very much like to throw into my main PC. And my main PC has a 500 gig SATA SSD in it that I could then move off to the Power Mac, but yeah, unfortunately. See, I would think it's too large, but here's like, I want plenty of storage because I don't really have enough optical discs to burn everything that I would need, like games that do not have a no CD crack or things like that. So I want to be able to just keep all the ISOs on a partition and be able to just mount them as I want to. And those things are like, they burn up a lot of storage when you start piling them up, which is why I like having more storage. I don't know if there's anything that has eSATA that would work on this machine. Plus, the only eSATA drive I have is that dock you gave me a while back. It's not going to be a server, no. Just, I want to be able to, like, keep everything cached on here, like all my ISOs from over the network and such. Because I've only got a 10 megabit connection from this machine to my NAS. So, trying to mount things remotely is just going to be a pain. Uh, Hang on. I wonder. Broke dogfish. Woke king shark. That's not terrible. You know, that's going to be interesting. I wonder how, now that Garth just mentioned that, I wonder how are we going to be doing the file copy? I suppose I could partition the drive out and run it from one partition to the other. That would probably be the best way to do it, honestly. You know, another option is I really could just do a 240 gig SSD because I actually do have one. I actually have one in my 2011 MacBook Pro that I could probably yoink out of there and replace it with a 128 and just use that. All right, so we just got the same results a second time. I'm not going to run a third test. So as we can see, like we actually gain. It's a little bit of a trade-off here, not by much. The only place we really pay for having a spinning drive right now is in the seek times. Access is too close to really count it, but seek, it's like a whole 6 milliseconds of difference. In effect, on this machine, it doesn't actually really make a perceivable difference, but it's, you just need to watch. All right, let's go ahead and give her a Mac bench. You know, another valid thing I could do here is I could just forego the SATA optical drive entirely because that's what I have in here right now. Well, That's what I did have in here before I decided to just hook the SSD up in tandem. I could forego the SATA optical drive and just have both an SSD and the spinning drive in here on SATA. But my SCSI drive broke, so that's kind of a problem. And by broke, I mean it still works, but the plastic on it broke. Yes, I was. And I booted and installed it. In fact, I can show that off in a minute here once we get the Mac bench done. I just have to go back in and reconnect it, of course. Does anybody in the chat know offhand what is the can 7.6 handle partitions larger than 4 gigabytes? Or does it absolutely flip its lid if you try that? Oh no, I've angered it. Come on. I know you got it in you. Let's go. Does anybody know why MacBench 5 in particular is just so ridiculously slow? Like, I don't get it. All right. Let's see this thing light a fire. Yeah, like it shouldn't be this slow. Like I wonder what the hell's going on. Whoo, look at that. Look at it go. Holy moly. That's a pretty that's a pretty decent improvement over the spinner, I guess. All right. One last test before we reconnect the optical drive. So we're gonna need disk utility for this though. Or drive utility. Drive setup. I'm thinking in OS 10 terms here. Because I need to partition this drive in half. Alright. Not timing this. Yeah, you know, let me expand that real quick so you can see the stuff go in real time. Sent the SCSI a little too hard there, didn't you, Joe? Also, Ron reminded me that I'm going to be probably doing up some SATA cards for him, so that's going to be awesome. Or doing up a SATA card, I should say. Speaking of recapping in Power Max, I've considered just recapping like my older Power Max, like the 9600, just so it's done and over with. So I never have to worry about the electrolytics going off ever. Because I get the feeling we're gonna approach a time when the Power Max, like other than like the G1 Power Max, are gonna start suffering cat plague at some point. Alright. Time to have some fun. Let's watch this thing go. Get our stopwatch up. Alright, here goes nothing. Curious to see how much of an improvement we get over the spinning rust at times here, because currently the 7200 RPM drive got 133. So we just crossed 1 minute. So we got 128.08. So not a big difference, honestly. which is why I didn't mind like going to a spinning Rust hard drive, because it feels like both drives are still going to saturate the PCI bus. The only thing we really lose is Seek, and I bet that's why MacBench 5 gave the SSD such a higher score. Maybe I should bring you guys over to the center monitor again. I have to imagine that's what factored into the SSD scoring as high as it did, because the seek times are so good, whereas the spinner kind of tossed it a little bit there. But still, for a machine this old, that's still incredibly fast. Okay, so let us struggle to reconnect the optical drive. I just had a dumb idea. I could what I could do, if I really wanted to stick the SSD back in here, is I could put the SanDisk in here, split it down the middle for 9.2 and 8.6, or 9.1 and 8.6. Though, at the end of the day, is it really necessary to run 9.1 if you're already running 8.6? Like, it doesn't feel like it's necessary to me, because 9.1 is basically just 8.6, but with Mac OS 10 additions, so to speak. But I'm thinking 8.6 and 9.1, if I choose to run it, can sit on the SSD. 8.1, 8.0, or whatever the hell, and 7.6 can sit on the Zulu SCSI. And that would probably be a good compromise. Also, hey, Retro Tech or Die. Nice to see you here. 9.2, I believe, is, but it won't run on this machine. Not without some hacks, at least. I wouldn't run anything past 9.1 on this machine, honestly. Alright, so as you can see, we have 7.6 on the desktop right there. And in fact, if I Command I on this, we can see bus 2, which is our SATA bus. Also bus 2. So now if I restart, I'm now holding down the C key. Waiting for this thing to make a fool out of me on stream. Also, I can't really see chat at the moment, so if you guys are saying something, I do apologize. And there's 7.6 booting right off the CD. It's getting warm in here. I'm going to turn on my air conditioner. Hopefully the noise cancellation kind of gets rid of it. Eight 8.6 is really like... It's like the snow leopard of classic Mac OS, in my opinion. So let's bring this back up to the forefront here. As you can see, 7.1 is running perfectly fine. Or 7.6, I mean. And yeah, it's awesome because it's like if you have a PCI Power Mac that needs an optical drive, but you don't want to put a SCSI drive into it because the supply of SCSI drives is getting kind of low these days, for lack of a better word. You have an option. In fact, let's just try booting 7.6 off the hard drive. Quickly here. Oh no, my files! Where have they gone? Alright, I should install this. And everything breaks. Also, I feel like if you're gonna tear into an iBook, I would heavily consider an SSD. Because the iBook, as I'm pretty sure you found out, is one of those things you want to just work on it once and then never ever again. Watch it blow up with a bus air. I'm just waiting for it. uh, this is why I'm kind of thinking about just saying to hell with 7.6 on this machine. If I try to install the drivers for my card, or if I try to install the drivers for the G3, it gets very unhappy very fast. That is exactly why, like, that thing, it was a good machine, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to get back into it after, like, I had replaced both drives, and then the LCD started going out, and I was like, no, I don't want to deal with this thing anymore. So that's why I ended up selling it to, like, one of my Twitter followers. I was like, no, I don't want to do this again. But hey, that paid for the SATA stuff, so I'm very happy with that trade. Oh, this thing is angry. I think the ATI drivers are kind of just boned on this thing. Come on, I believe in you. Pack of 120 gig SSDs? Damn. If they're M-SATA, very yes. Do it. Alright, now I'm curious. Um... Are you talking about the oh yeah, Patriot? I mean, in a low use situation, they might be alright. I just saw it. The only Patriot drive I have that I have had, like, any experience with is a Blaze. And I mean, it does the job, but it's kind of slow. But I mean, it's an SSD. If I was gonna buy any SSD, I'd be buying the Dogfish ones. No name, yes, but they're known to work in old Macs without any issues. Yeah, this is true. Like, what we consider to be a slow SSD would probably still saturate, like, a SATA bus on an old Power Mac. Did I get noise canceled? No, I was saying, like, I was saying what we consider to be slow, at least for a SSD, is probably still fast for these machines, like you were saying. And I was also saying, like, I recommend the Dogfish ones because, as Garth said, we know them to work, especially with older Macs. Because I know, like, some Macs, like the G5s, get really picky about what drive you use, even though they're literally SATA. Yeah, Dogfish. I stuck one in my iBook and it was pretty happy until it got angry about the LCD. I think pretty much every adapter will work perfectly fine. You don't want to get the half length ones though because they'll fit but they won't really mount very well. If I remember, the one brand to avoid for SSDs at least has been Inland. I've heard they're not very good, and I've heard they have elevated failure rates. But it could be a while. That was a while ago, so I'm not sure if that's still true. Let me see here. Uh, so yeah, like this one right here. This is perfectly fine. Like this is what you want. This is what you want for that M-SATA adapter. Kingston's pretty good. Last I heard, certainly cheap, but decently cheap and decent is what I hear. All right, now that we've clawed this thing back, and now that the file copy is finished, let's see. Got two blue scuzzies here. I will take the one with the googly eyes. Yeah, it comes with everything you need besides the drive itself, and you do not want an M.2. You want to get an M SATA. It's very confusing for the uninitiated. M.2, as far as I know, there aren't any converters for M.2. I could very well be wrong on this, though. But you just want standard M SATA, not M.2. All right. Oh, holy bay, this thing is falling apart. Darth, if you ever find another lid for an LC475 that isn't busted, please let me know. Okay. I think we are golden. Also, Joe, so it's confusing. There's two types of M.2. Like, the M.2 keying is different depending on what type of M.2 it is. Most of them are PCIe, yes, but some of them are also SATA. It's really confusing. Anyway, let's see if this works. Smoke test. Will the capture card pick this up? That is the question. The answer is a resounding no. Are you outputting, my friend? Hey, Justin. Yeah, I'm still live, still figuring things out. This time we are done with the benchmarks for right now. I still have to roll back the F4 to earlier firmware to do some more testing. Now we're just messing with things at this point, and as of current, I am trying to get the LC475 to come up, but it is not. I mean, it's working for me on my monitor, but it's not, like, the capture card's not picking anything up. Which is a little weird, but I guess my settings on my video adapter aren't correct, so let me go back to my old reference. Let me see. So 800 by 600. I don't think I can get 1024 out of this thing, so I'm not going to even try. So I guess I need to determine what the capture card is going to take. Because I have options for composite sync, or two options for composite sync, separate sync, and then sync on green. I don't think sync on green is going to work. Because that wouldn't even work with the monitor, and I know that to support sync on green. So I think that's some oddball. I mean, maybe we could try it, see what happens. So I've got my reference in front of me here. Block A, 3, 4. A34 is on. Everything else is off. What does that get us? Sync on green definitely does not work. I guess let's try separate sync then. 3, 4, 5, 8. This is weird because I do believe it was outputting 640 by 480 just a minute ago. I could be wrong, and that was 800 by 600. Oh, wait, there we go. We got it. Garth is about to recognize everything that's about to appear. You having a time there, mate? I think it locked up. Yeah, it's not having fun. I was like, hmm, cancerous marshmallows. Well, maybe if you didn't crash Mac OS, maybe I wouldn't have to do that stuff to you. We are straight up having a problem here. You know what this means? Guess what time it is? I get to rebuild the desktop. Also, this thing boots stupid fast. Holy moly. Did it just lock up again? Something is not quite right here. Fine. Fine. I see how you want this to be. You get ultimate punishment. No, that is not actually going to work, is it? Trying to think this image might be hosed. Alright, well, time for some hot file copying action. It was booting off of an F1 Blue Scuzzy, but then I decided, you know what, you're going to get punished. You get to deal with the Zulu Scuzzy. And it's exhibiting the same problems. So I get the feeling it is not happy. Something had a time with the images. Do this. That's the only part I don't like, is having to deal with this. I swear I have only the crappiest card readers. I actually have a reference here. This is the one I used, the Unimac 82D, and I used separate sync for, I believe, this one right here for 480p or 600p. So it's 3, 4, 5, and 8 if you're playing along at home with the same adapter. Tinker Different actually has a scan of this, but it's barely legible, so I opted to just type it up into something that's a little more easier to read. In fact, oh no, my name. Oh god. Whatever. I did, actually. I put it in the very same thread. Actually just took a screenshot of like the chart and put it in the Tinker Different thread on video adapters. That email address haunts me. Funnily enough. That email address is also why, like, I take my Google account a little bit seriously, but also not. Because that email address, I've had that email address. I've had that email address since 2004, so it has been a minute. I wonder. It's still here. I guess it is, but it's not remembering my commands. Wait, what? Don't mind me, I'm just testing bot commands real quick while I wait for this to do its thing. A little slow on the uptake there, but it works. Yeah, we are unfortunately approaching that time of day where the dogs start going off and everything because everybody's starting to come home. Because as you can see, over here at least, it is 4:55. I'm probably going to have to cut the stream in a bit. I don't know how much time I actually have because my girlfriend will be getting home from work any time now, and I have to go pick her up, and yeah. Oh boy, what's Action Retro up to? Well, I'll be watching that with great interest after I'm done. Alright. Try to. I should try the F4, but that would also require me to dig back into the 9600 a second time. Plus, Garth was the one who bought bought a Zulu Scuzzy first, so if this thing is cursed, I blame him. Alright. Do things. Speaking of things Garth owns or owned, I really need to put the MDD back up in the hot seat and give that thing some love at some point. You are really not happy today, are you, LC? Just like, no, I am not booting up. Go fuck yourself. Do I gotta get the F4 out? I swear. Do you want the sweet kiss of the F4? Why you do this? I'm thinking my F1s are a little frazzled from me trying to overclock them. I mean, if you want to keep calling it Azul, feel free, but I'm personally, Eric does not look like the kind of person I want to mess with. I kid, I kid. And I mean Eric Helgeson, not Eric's Edge. Please work. Please work. Oh no. I've made a dumb mistake. How did this thing work on the 9600? What the hell? I forgot to set termination back on. Because I was programming it yesterday and I forgot to turn termination back on. I'm so dumb. The actual images should not be borked because I booted it off of them before. I swear if this works. No, she is good and wedged right now. I don't know what you want from me. You know, I'm not thinking outside the box here. See, where did I the thing that saves my life, but never I always lose the blasted thing. Okay. Where did I put it? Oh, it came off. Or maybe it got scared because I busted out the DB25 and said I muttered under my breath that I am no longer asking. Big stuff. We need to clean up. So as we can see here, this machine is no slouch. Because I completely desecrated my Quadra 700 to give this thing a 68040. So now what we need to do quit. Oh, this is 7.1. Okay. Utilities. Aha. Give this a good old shot. See, I would want to put a spicy o'clock on here, but this thing is already getting quite toasty trying to run a 68040 in such a tight space. What I really should do, is, since this thing, this computer, the case is in pretty nasty shape. I mean, it's mostly there, but it's starting to fall apart a little bit. What I should do is just, like, make it a wall PC. Or a wall Mac, I should say. Speaking of going faster, you know, after watching Grudy's video, I really, really, really want to be like, hey, DOS Dude 1, let's build the fastest Power Mac 9600 on this earth. Come on, we gotta do it. Interesting. They were saying about 1500, 16. Do I have that in the benchmark? Do I have that notated? If not, I need to. Oh yeah, I do. Oh boy, what did Garth tag, man? It's all gone. uh, you're the one who set me up with this image. All right, let's have some. Let's punish it harder, shall we? I've got a little bit of time. Justin, if I break your F4 from plugging it and unplugging it too many times, I'm sorry in advance. This thing is getting passed around so many friggin' times right now. Why don't you want to plug in? What is wrong with you? There we go. Okay. But I feel like a terrible person for making this joke. But joke I must. Wow, it actually booted faster that time. Man, really? I said copy the image, not the link to the image. You stupid phone. Alright. I'm sorry. I am a terrible person. Let us get back to the cluster shag in process here. At this point, I am just screwing around and killing time. Maybe if I benchmark the Zulu Scuzzy enough times, they'll finally respond to my issue on GitHub. I still find it quite funny. So, guess I'll Google search it. So, let's see here. So something I find quite hilarious. I bring it back to center monitor here. I'm going to quickly turn this off. I find this funny. I didn't think it was an official account. Then I scroll down here and, here's their official links. Their only tweet is to retweet me. Which is why, I mean, I would hope people click this and view the thread, because Zulu Scuzzy is fast, but it's very crash happy on Power Max. Anyway, terrible person. That is me. So let's see. How does that look compared to what I have notated? A little bit faster on the read. A little bit faster on the write. Much faster on the seek. About the same, or no, much faster on the access. Same on the seek. So, sure. I hope they aren't too sour that I have the Scuzzy to SD account blocked. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I mean, I guess I'll just put in the new numbers. Whatever, fine. I need to recheck the F1. Actually, I'm going to recheck the F1 while I'm in here. Screw it. I've got time to kill. You know, that should be my... If I were to make an end stream screen, I need to get a screen cap of that and just... That's my end stream screen right there. It is now safe to shut off your Macintosh. Alright. Let's try the JCM1 edition Blue Scuzzy here. I'm using the Blue Scuzzy that either you sent me or someone had you send me on their behalf with the googly eyes. I have taken to calling it the JCM1 edition Blue Scuzzy. And look, it actually booted! See, it's not cursed. Alright. What you got for me? Good stuff, I hope. Oh, lovely. I am dropping frames, apparently. That's not good. It is that time, though, where the local hub starts going down. I need to, like... Let's see. Oh, right. I don't have a calendar anymore because I had to reinstall Windows. Ugh. Man. My stream is managing to hold at about 4 to 6 megabits per second. But I am losing frames like crazy, according to OBS. So even though I have a little bit of time, I may have to kill this even before. Alright. I'm going to do this off the main monitor. Off the main monitor. This is probably going to... Hopefully this doesn't kill my stream. Yeah. 800 megabits down. But my upstream is completely hosed. Like, let's see if I can bring this over without showing my IP address. I really can't because monitors are a thing. Oh wait, you guys can't see anything, so I can close Firefox like a boss because that's how I do things. do this again. Let me bring it back to the main monitor. Yeah, like, my downlink is awesome right now. Like, usually it's not this good. Now it's starting to come back a little bit. But my uplink is usually 40, so it's running at about half right now. It's enough to make OBS lose a bunch of frames. Oh, well, there's my IP address. Thank you! Thank you, speed test. Thank you very much. I mean, not like it matters. My IP address is probably pretty easy to find if you think about it. Let's see what the Mac is doing. Look at that curve. Just perfect. That was like chef's kiss right there. But, like, it's really weird. Like, you notice it kind of goes up on a linear curve. But on the 9600, it does that dip and then comes back up. So I'm wondering if there is, like, a quirk in the 9600 SCSI controller that's causing it to do that. Or if there's a quirk in the PCI controllers. I don't know. Something's not right with the 9600. And I think somebody has told me that the 9600s are a bit weird. And I'm starting to kind of believe that. And I think when I was over at Garth's and we tried this on his 9600, which he has a Kansas board, so the second revision 9600, it was exhibiting the same issue, so I don't think there's enough of a difference between the two to explain what the hell is going on here. DDoS me? Ha ha ha. I'm behind 7 proxies. Alright, let's have a little bit of... I'm probably going to kill the stream in a minute, but before then, let's have a little bit of fun, I guess. Now, if the stream is cromulent enough to show anything... It's weird. So, you would think, like... Alright. So let me bring this up real quick. Go to center. Oh, I can't because... Alright. First we go to center. Then we turn this off. Then we go to settings. Then we go to output. Drag it on over. And currently, I have it set to 12,000. Or 12 megabits per second, I guess, here. And... yeah, it's... oh, now it's picked back up. Now I'm all green. Okay. Okay, YouTube. You do your thing. Swear to goodness. I shouldn't say YouTube. This is Comcast. This is all their fault. Anyway. What is this? I can't hear anything because I have this running into my amp. So I don't know if you guys can hear anything, but I can't. I can bring this up. That is interesting. That is very interesting. This is the most random thing I've seen in my life. Alright, well, we'll leave that running, I guess. Just for the randomness. Where is my mouse gone?
What a nice idea, son. I need to turn this up because I can't hear anything. Don't point anything at me.
My mouse is gone. Bork, bork, bork.
Oh, my butt!
What the? Oh my goodness. Oh. Let's see. Garth, you have some random stuff on here, and I love every minute of it. Do I have a noise gate on this car? Oh. Oh no. That's the problem. I have a noise gate on the card input. I'm dumb. Filters. Turn off noise gate. There we go. My bad. Oh my goodness gracious. Why don't you just give me like a copyright strike or something? Okay, right. We forgot to answer the question of what the peak 1997 Mac gaming app is. What in what? Horizontal or vertical line? Oh. But which one is the starting? Oh. Oh. Oh my. This is something I'll have to figure out later, not on stream. I have never played crosswords. Alright. So I think I'm going to wrap the stream up because I actually have to leave pretty quick here. And it's about to be 3 hours, so perfect time to call it. This was fun, and I kind of want to do another stream later. Not today, obviously, but like later on, exploring the 475 a little bit more. There's a whole bunch of stuff on here, and I have yet to really dig into this. So that's something I'm probably going to do next stream whenever I hold it. So yeah, thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.